them all, you mother. What it is, handle biz. Main man, Spidey Rock, aka Rick Chan, more fun for you to withstand, and 10 toes deep like quicksand, aka Stability Thrill 'em. May not have heard, but you are about to feel them. Now it's time to reveal them here on the late night stream. And you hear the scenes. One of the choreographers bring the fun for you and yours. Don't sweat the technique. You're in it with the fresh geeks. Meanwhile, I'm trying to tell your cousin, tell your moms. Back with an addition on the whim for your moms, your cousins, and all of them. I'm trying to remember how this thing works with the, I think it's to the left. Yeah. It's already beat that one. Talk some shit real quick. Of course, and everybody's heard the news by now. R.I.P. to Akira Toriyama, the GOAT. Still hard to believe and hard to even speak. You know what I mean? It's like, what are the fucking odds? What a legend, man. Like, I was saying this before, like, shit. So it's kind of gonna be hard for me to play and focus at the same time. But one thing that everybody across the board could agree on is like, damn, we lost the man. You know what I'm saying? Whether you was in a trailer park, you was in a trap, the Vela, the barrio, the ghetto, wherever you was. You know what I'm saying? Everybody agreed on the same thing. Like, damn, Toriyama, man. Dragon Ball Z was just such a influential series. Of course, he did more than that, but it's just that one in particular, that was universal across the world. Like, how do you create something like that? You know, that touches everybody. That gives people energy when they don't really have it. That gives people motivation when maybe they have nothing to give them motivation, you know. That's a universal symbol to keep going despite the challenges, you know, that you can beat anything. That shows you the concept of how powerful love is. And I don't think that may have been Toriyama-san's initial intent with that, as he was talking about in one of the interviews that I saw on YouTube, but it's like one of those things, like, it's there, and you can tell it was there in what he did, you know? He was saying how he wasn't really into manga or anime initially, but, you know, he loved to draw. And it's just like, hey, sometimes it's like, the love of what you're doing will make you very strong, whether you're into the medium in the beginning or not, right? As long as the love is there, you can sense it. God damn it, I jumped. So, say that to say, you know, it was just cool to see. Like, I went out to Uptown or whatever on Friday just to kick it a little bit after practice because I needed to take a load off. And I wore the DBZ jacket, man. Just see so many different people kind of connecting. I jumped, but whatever, and just, you know, coming up and, hey man, you know, I heard, you know, that's messed up, and, you know, a lot of people collectively just all on the same wavelength, you know, despite all the stuff that's happened politically and, you know, the system that we're in, and how things are going, and, you know, racial tension and all that stuff. All of that, you know, people still took time to kind of chill out and think about that. And everybody was touched. And I wish, you know, people would focus more on those things that unify instead of the things that divide. And I think it couldn't have came at more of a, the word, poignant time. As right now, you know, everybody's kind of tripping about the political stuff with Trump and Biden and all this stuff, and this couldn't have came at a better time to show people what really matters at the end of the day, the things that connect us instead of the things that divide us. Yeah, because, you know, love is like a magnet, so it connects things, it pulls things in, and it's one of the most powerful forces there is, and this is proof. You know? And, you know, I just wanted to speak on that. But also things personally, you know, like I remember times I wasn't feeling too hot, and I would put on certain Dragon Ball Z clips, like especially the one when Goku goes Super Saiyan 3. It's one of my favorite ones when he says go even further beyond. I like to watch that just to see the progression. Like, you know, sometimes you sit and you realize how far you come along, or how far you leveled up, and you see kind of progression of your life before your eyes, like he did when he, you know, started off as the baby, and then the ape showed up and all that, and it's just like this whole thing, and then boom, he's Super Saiyan 3. And that's, you know what I'm saying, that was some great writing. And a lot of people say, oh, well, it was the same thing over and over and this and that, and, you know, it didn't have much depth to the story, and I'm just like, you know, it had the amount of depth that it needed. It wasn't that sort of, you know, party. And I think sometimes people say it just to downplay it, you know. And it's like, if you're looking for that, then, you know, turn that on. If you got, you know, Gundam Wing and, god damn it, all that shit for it. You know, you can get all that deep shit watching Gundam Wing and whatever else the fuck you look at. But Dragon Ball Z is what it was, man. You know? I mean, you think about how I wasn't really supposed to go past the damn Frieza saga anyway. You know, and the man kept doing it because people kept abandoning it. And he still put his foot in it. I mean, what more could you ask for? He's like, damn, why something else? And just to see how that was the standard for a lot of these cats, you know what I'm saying? Like Oda of One Piece, Kishimoto of Naruto, and, you know, all these different people, you know, like that was the template, basically. Even if you look at lesser known shit like Tenjo Tenge, which is a really kind of cool fighting anime, the OVA left much to be desired. But even then, you could see the influence, because they had like some type of transformation, Super Saiyan kind of deal with the dude, where his hair was originally black. I mean, blonde, but it turns black during this transformation. It's interesting to see that parallel. And it also was like cool because they had that capoeira guy on there, Bob Makihara, I think his name was. We were watching that in college, back in Boyd Hall with the Nash. Tenjo Tenge, very great intro too, hype song. But even that was influenced. It's like, what would the world be like without it? So even if you didn't like it, shit that you probably like now wouldn't be what it is if that didn't exist. And even just the man's work in gaming as well, you know, bringing that art style to Chrono Trigger and Dragon Quest. What's the other one? Toe Ball. A lot of people don't talk about Toe Ball. That shit was dope. Especially Toe Ball 2 with all those characters, man. And those soundtracks, my god. Some sleeper hits. But just, I remember seeing Toe Ball and, like, what was it? Like trying to game a monthly, like the advertisement. I'm thinking this guy looks like, you know, a DBZ character. And that shit, as a youngin', had blown me away. And I realized, oh, it was designed by him. You know? Putting those together and stuff and seeing that. I'm like, damn, this guy just had his hand in everything. Oh god, I just fucking blew it. But yeah, it was cool to see all that, man. What was my guy's name on there? It was like Chuji or something, I think the guy's name was in Tobal, the main guy. Yeah, that was pretty fly. And just to see, man, that Dragon Ball pretty much is as old as me. People still fuck with it, you know? I'm like, damn. I think it came out the year I was born. It was 86 or something. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. So it was like, shit. That should have been around my whole fucking life. Even before I knew it, right? Because I didn't know it in the 80s, of course. I mean, shit, I was a baby. I didn't know much of anything at the time, but it's cool to think about, you know? But I remember, man, Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball not being that accessible at the time. Like, you literally had to wait till Sunday to watch it. It was like, come on, like, right, damn it, this fucking jump. But come on, right before WMAC Masters, which was like, it was like WWE, but for martial artists, which was a cool concept. I kind of wish they would have kept doing that. And I remember Shannon Lee used to host the show. She would host the beginning. And you had the guy who played Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat movie, Chris Castanessa. He was Red Dragon. He was in it. Ho-Sung Pak, who did the motion capture for the original Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. Goddammit. He was also in it as Superstar. And he also played in what was it, Drunken Master 2 with Jackie Chan. He played one of the bad guys in that. If you go back and look, you'll see it was Ho-Sung Pak. I was like, that's cool, man. Who else was in there? And then the Machine, who was the first guy to fight Liu Kang, the black guy with the dreads, Hakeem Alston. He was the first guy to fight Liu Kang in the Mortal Kombat movie when they fought with the bow staffs. So the Machine, he was in the Mortal Kombat movie as well. But yeah, it pretty much was like a Mortal Kombat type show. And it was cool because they had like different cultures represented in it as well. And they had a Native American fighter, which was dope. You know, they had some of everybody. Which is interesting. I should have... Damn, I got you scared. Aye, stupid. Oh my god, yep. I would have left too. I don't blame you. I should have warned y'all that I'm not professional with this shit at all, so I'm gonna be dying. I'm more so on here to kind of let off steam and vent, so that's more so my goal than being good at the game. I'm just playing the game to kind of relax my nerves a little bit. I just like the medium, but thanks for stopping by, whoever the hell that was. Shout out to you. Yeah, I'm kind of terrible at this game right now. So anyway. But yeah, take in the words we talking about. Don't worry about this shit. This is just filler. But yeah, that would come on afterwards. And it was cool. You gotta get your double dose of martial arts. It's come on Channel 20 back in Detroit, if you're familiar with that during the time. WXON before it came to WB. The first was Dragon Ball. So you only got the first 26 episodes. Ended at Pillar. So after Goku breaks out of the stronghold with Yamcha and Bulma and them, after turning into the 8, I believe that's what happens in that order. Oh shit. Okay. They make the wish with the 7 Dragon Balls. And well, Pilaf does. He summons a dragon. And I don't want to spoil it, but you've probably seen it by now. Oolong fucks it up by wishing for panties. But I remember he just said underwear on the edited version back, and I think it was them. I forget the name of the company that dubbed it at that time. It was the first 26 episodes, and we got nothing else after that. Then a year later, boom, Dragon Ball Z comes out. And at the time, I didn't even know. But I remember reading, damn it! You gotta get that feeling of this control, man. It's been a minute. But I remember, what's this guy's name? It was this cat named Wayne, and he was telling me about Dragon Ball Z. But before that, I didn't put two and two together. Before that, my cousin Tim had these magazines called Electronic Gamer Monthly. I don't know if y'all might even remember EGM. And in the back, they had this thing called Game Cave, where they had import games and import anime and shit you could buy. And I remember there was this thing called Dragon Balls. And I remember the guy kind of looked like Goku a little bit. And I was like, well, I guess it's supposed to be like a joke, you know? And I was like, what the fuck is Dragon Ball? So I, for the life of me, kept trying to figure out what it was. Fuck it, just go on. I don't care. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that was. Fuck it. Shit. Ugh. Ooh, up there, baby. Cool. So we hit it. So anyway, what was I talking about? Because I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So we only got the first 26 episodes, and I remember I was reading the Game Cave thing, and I was like, Dragon Balls? What the hell? This sounds like a joke, you know, like some type of dirty joke. What is Dragon Balls? And they had like the different characters that we hadn't seen and stuff. They had some like Frieza. I remember they had Dragon Ball Legends in the back. And I remember seeing some Sailor Moon stuff too, where I was like, wait, who are these other Sailor Scouts? Because at that point we hadn't gotten past what would be Sailor Moon R. Because I remember you got the first season on shit. You got the first season on 20, which was the same channel that showed Dragon Ball. Ironically, channel 20 showed all the anime, but you just had to catch it at the weird times. So Dragon Ball was Sundays. Sailor Moon was what the hell? I had never seen the camera angle do that before. Yeah, Sailor Moon was weekdays at 2:30. So you can only really catch Sailor Moon like on a half day. But yeah, they never got past the first season. And I remember the very first episode they ever aired on Saturday wasn't even on channel 20, it was on channel 50, and it was the first episode of Sailor Moon R, the second season. And after that, I remember they were showing Sailor Moon on Saturday on USA, like before Street Fighter for a while. And I was like, damn, how did they get over here? But then I saw they were showing the second season because there were new episodes. And I was like, what the fuck? So, yeah, it was just anime. You had to catch it at weird times. That's the point. So you only got the first 26 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. I'm looking in Game... Dragon Ball, I mean. You're looking in Game Cave, seeing all these extra characters, extra Sailor Scouts and stuff like, where are these shits coming from? And I remember finally, Wayne, he was like, yo, bruh. Yeah, man, it's Dragon Ball Z. Goku's like a grown-up man. He's got a wife, you know, he's got a son and all this shit. And I'm like, bruh, shut up. Because, you know, back then, people would just make up stuff. And, you know, you didn't have Google back then to kind of fact check. And Yahoo was probably had just come out at that point, so you know. So you like Dragon Ball Z? Yeah, right. You know, the internet was still fairly new, so if somebody said something, you had to either go off their word or see it for yourself. So I remember finally, he was like, "Yeah, you gotta watch it on Sunday. You gotta catch it at this time." I was at my Aunt Angie's house, and it was Sunday. I was like, "All right, dude said watch it at this time." So I turned it on, and sure enough, they was fighting Raditz, and I was like, "Yo, okay, dude, but lying." And I remember seeing them fight, and it was unlike anything I ever seen before in my fucking life. I was like, "Yo, you see how fast these dudes was fighting? Like, what is this?" So you know, I'm automatically hooked, and just also surprised, like, "Damn, dude really didn't lie," you know. And I remember wondering who the hell Piccolo was. I was like, who the hell is Piccolo? Because at that point, we hadn't seen him fight Piccolo or anybody like that. Because you got to remember, they only gave us the first 26 episodes. So all that tournament stuff, all the training with Master Roshi, we didn't see. We just saw him, like, learn the Kamehameha by watching, you know, Master Roshi put out the fire in the castle of Ox King. So yeah, I was like, what the fuck? So at that point, we hadn't seen none of that. They sitting there talking about some tournament, some grudge that him and Piccolo had. And we like, how did that even happen? Like, bro, we never even seen all that. So you gotta understand, by the time we got all of that, it was 2002. So it was probably, how many years? About 7 years after the fact that we were seeing the continuation of Dragon Ball on Toonami. So this was, what I'm talking about is pre-Toonami. And then after that, when the Saiyan Saga ended, and this is when you had to wait a fucking week to see the next episode. Like, and you gotta think about it. During that time, Sunday is the day before school start back again. So you sitting there, you already waiting for the weekend, but then you waiting for Sunday because you want to see what's gonna happen, you know? Like the first time you find out about Kaioken and Goku does time 10, shoots the Kamehameha, and you think it's over, like Vegeta's done. You're like, wait, there's more? Then you find out he jumped out of it. You're like, bro, what the fuck? So I gotta wait another week? So this was before Toonami, when they were showing like what, 5 times a week and shit. And then they had the Saturday where you could watch it on Saturday. Then you could watch it at midnight. Man, before it was on Toonami, you did not have Dragon Ball Z that accessible. So it was like gold back then. I remember, what was that? After that, you know, the Saiyan Saga, they moved it to Fox on Saturday at 6 in the morning. Like, who the fuck is watching this at 6 in the morning? This shit was so much of a sleeper hit that everybody knew about him was on Sunday, so why would you move it to that time slot? I remember my dad, he would tape it in the morning. He would tape all the Dragon Ball Z episodes, set his tape, and I would go to, what's that, DAPSEP on Saturday, which is like a little engineering program in Detroit for like elementary and middle school. I think it went on into high school. And I would go there, and I remember I would wait until after that. And Dad would have the episodes taped, and I would watch them over there, and then play the game, play Resident Evil, drudge through Mortal Kombat Mythologies, which I kept trying to convince myself was a great game, because I love the concept and I love Mortal Kombat, but it really wasn't. I was just happy I had that shit, you know. I was just happy playing some games, you know. So didn't really complain much. But anyway, he would tape them, and I would go over there and watch them, you know. And like, that was the Namek Saga. It was only showing at 6 in the morning on Saturday, and it was wild. And I remember, like, finally getting there and him having the tape where you get to the Ginyu Force. I'm just like, thinking back then, these guys are kind of cool, you know, because they had the poses and stuff with the different names, and it was like a whole little team. And the way that the Ginyu Force pulled up, you know, with the 5 ships next to each other and the lights blink, you know, in order and shit. Oh, like, they pulled up like the hardest motherfuckers ever. They was tripping like, damn, even Vegeta scared of me? What the fuck? So, I remember after that, it started over again. I'm like, what? So I remember, you know, they taped it. They was like, yeah, I taped it, man. But they went back to the beginning of the Namek Saga. And I was like, shit. I remember finally, it was like 98, 6th grade, I think. 97 or 98, 6th grade. And, damn. Shout out to Russ Simmons. Damn. And I remember them advertising Dragon Ball Z coming to Toonami. By that point, it was just like, man, I had already seen it already. You know, some people for the first time, they were just seeing it, but shit. I had already done that. You know, where's the t-shirt? All this other stuff. But of course, I still watched it when I was at my grandfather's house at school. You still watch it because it's fucking Toonami, man. Shit. What else you gonna watch? And it still was just exciting now that everybody was kind of getting on to it, you know, a little more, and you can talk to more people about it. But yeah, it finally came to Toonami, then that was it. When they got to Toonami, bro, that was it. I don't even think I even got the fucking crystal. I'm gonna go back through this shit again. Yeah, that shit was beautiful, man. Yeah, but I just remember just saying that. And then going through the motions again, like, oh no, like I literally seen this shit already. But it just, you loved it so much, you just kept watching it anyway. So somebody bought me, can't remember who it was, for Christmas, the Arrival VHS. And it was a cool VHS because it had Goku on the front. It was a gold and black, like a case, like one of those hard shell cases that clasp together. And this Joker had Goku on there shooting Kamehameha wave with his hair like flying up and shit. And it was just the coolest box art ever. It was the only VHS that had it, and it was the Arrival. So it was the whole Raditz spiel on one tape. When I tell you I watched that shit a billion times, I just loved that shit. Then I remember I got, it was an action figure you could mail for the Goku action figure. It was an offer for a free Goku action figure. I remember I put it in the mail, and I got the action figure. It didn't really have many points of articulation, but shit. It was the one Dragon Ball Z figure I had at the time, so I was really excited because my parents was not paying for them imported ones in the back of them electronic games, even though I wanted it. You know, it was, at the time, my mom was like, I ain't ordering nothing off the internet. You know, on some like, the internet's the devil kind of shit. But not really, I'm just exaggerating. Like, she used to be very wary about ordering shit off the internet. And now you can't stop her. But yeah, I remember she was like, yeah, you can, you know, you can send it in the mail. And I remember when it came, I got so happy with the fucking Goku action figure. And it was stiff as hell. You could only like move his arms and shit. You couldn't really move his legs or anything. But you know, when you were a kid, you just be excited because it's fucking Goku. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you've been looking for that forever. But I remember getting that, and then for Christmas getting Dead Zone and fucking Tree of Might. Even though Tree of Might in the US version was, they serialized it as the first episodes of the Frieza side, which I never understood why they did that. Well, I got to see the uncut Tree of Might as a movie, and then Dead Zone, which is like my absolute favorite, because most of the scenes in the Rock the Dragon opening are Tree of Might scenes, Dead Zone, and World's Strongest. There's only a few that are from the actual, you know, anime series, and not the movies. If you watch the Rock the Dragon intro, that's the first intro that came for Dragon Ball Z. And I remember looking for the episode, like, where is the episode where he's fighting these guys? You know, with the swords and the weapons and stuff. I'm like, because I always thought that was a dopest scene when he was fighting the two guys, Garlic Jr.'s henchman, Mickey, and whatever the other guy's name is. Like, where is that? And then you always look for the scene of Master Roshi fighting, because you just like, bro, where is that scene? I want to see Master Roshi get down, like, because he was getting down in that shit. Then I realized, oh, it's from the movies. So I finally got Tree of Might and Dead, and I used to watch them shits to death. I know my mom got tired of hearing that. I even, like, I had this sword from the circus, and what I did was I cut the end of the sheath of the sword, and I put a ruler in it to make a power pole, and I like tied a string around the ends so I could wrap it around my back like Goku. And I remember that was like my favorite shit ever. And I just put a fucking like yardstick in it, and that was my power pole. I remember I was so excited to show my cousin, look at my power pole. Pause. That sounds weird, but yeah. So that's like how much I was into that shit, and because it was just, you know, at the time a little bit harder to come by. You know, you had tapes or whatever. You just watch the same thing and hope for something new. It was like, oh. And then when I got a hold of anime sites, stuff like that, and I was able to use the internet, you know, of course we was printing shit off, wasting ink the world over just to print off those pictures of Super Saiyans. And man, I remember having folders full of pictures, and all I did was like draw that shit in class. Teacher be talking to sitting there drawing fucking Goku Super Saiyan all day. Like so good that I could draw it by heart without even looking at something sometimes. And it was crazy. I was looking at an interview of Toriyama where they asked him to draw Super Saiyan Goku. And the way that he started to draw Goku, it was crazy. It was like, that's exactly how I would start drawing them too. When I would, and not even having known that technique. You know, you start with the hair, and then you put the lines in the hair and shit. Then you start with the face, then you start with the eyes because you don't want to fuck the eyes up. Man, I was like, damn, the order he was drawing, and he was like, that's exactly the order that I would draw the characters too. I'm just like, damn, sometimes I wonder, like, if I would have kept drawing, would I have gotten a little bit better at it? Damn! But, you know, that's just a touch of how influential that shit was to me, man. You know, even at that time. And I know a lot of people probably feel the same too. But yeah, man, just all that. And then when Toonami got a hold of it, and they start doing those hip hop remixes and shit, like them original beats and stuff. And they had the skateboard and shit, you know, which that's what got me into skateboarding, was watching Toonami, because they would be playing the hip hop beats and the guys would be skateboarding and stuff. I was like, man, I want to do that. You know, I already was interested because of Ninja Turtles, watching, you know, Donatello skateboarding the movie. But when I seen it on Toonami, the cats was hitting the streets, they was going off the ledges and stuff with the hip hop, I was like, yo, this is it. You know, little did I know that was fueling my interest in breaking without me even knowing it too. You know, it's just, everything was kind of coming together at that time. Yeah, that shit was fire. It just, you know, the first intro with the beat called "Scratch My Back." I think the guy's name was it Joe Boy Vigil that did those in the beginning. He did quite a few of them. Yes, man, dang it. You can go on YouTube and find a lot of those original intro tracks and those promos. Like, even though they were showing the same shit I had already seen, the way Toonami presented it, like the cuts, the quick edits, the fire ass hip hop beats and shit, it made it brand new. You know what I'm saying? It made you want to watch it again because of how dope they presented it and how much care they put into it, man. It's just, it was a time and place, and you'll never see that again. It was so cool to see how they handled it with such reverence. You know? Damn, I thought I got over that shit. Oh, come on. Come on, ref. You seen that. So yeah, that was dope. And I remember finally, even though I had been watching, you could watch the little real player clips, 30 seconds, it'll take you about an hour to download a 30-second clip of seeing Goku go Super Saiyan, or him fighting Majin and Vegeta, Trunks killing Frieza and shit like that. Good. So even though you were seeing all that, you know, it was still something when they finally released the Frieza saga. I remember that summer, because actually this game ties in with that summer. playing Crash Bandicoot 2 heavy as hell with my cousins. Tekken 3 was hot back then. Who was that? Austin Powers 2. I remember watching MTV, seeing Beautiful Stranger and Limp Bizkit and all that. And the Puff Daddy shit back in the day. All that shit kind of tying in. And I remember I would tape Sailor Moon in the morning. And I would, on channel 50, because Sailor Moon started to get saturated. They were showing it on 50, then they would show it later on, damn, it's another one? I already did this shit. Fuck. I would tape Sailor Moon, then I would tape it later. And I remember while I was watching Sailor Moon, sure enough, this trailer came on. And it was like, what is it? What is it? But you hear Kami's voice saying, Goku, you gotta defend the Earth or something like that. And then you just hear Krillin go, Goku, why aren't you here? And you just hearing the voices and shit, just like, the planet depends on you. And they just cut to this dope ass beat. And you just start seeing these clips of all the shit you never seen, like Goku fighting Captain Ginyu. You see King Vegeta, which was like, we had never seen him before. It was like, what the fuck? Who was this Vegeta looking guy with the cape and the beard? Like, this motherfucker bearded out. And you see him fighting Captain Ginyu, like, fire the shit out of his mouth, and Riku and Berger are coming at him. He's standing there with his arms folded like they ain't on shit. You see him punch Jace in the face and stuff, and you just like, bro, what is happening? And all it said was, second coming. Fall. And we was like, what the fuck? I recorded that commercial. And I would watch that commercial every day, just hype, waiting for it. Then you would watch the tape, go outside, practice your moves and shit in the front yard. So yeah, man, I know it's kind of one of those things. God damn it, man, I can't get past this level, man. This is gonna be the wackest shit ever. But the conversation is dope. I'm more concerned about the conversation than playing the game. I'm sorry, y'all. And I know if anybody's listening to it, maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't care. But you know, we gotta pay respects to the goal, man. This is just like how much of an influence personally, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, just being so invested in it, drawing it, just living it, man. Dragon Ball Z was shit. That was a fucking way of life. I hate to say it, man. That shit. I can't imagine my life without Dragon Ball Z. I'm sorry. It sounds nerdy as fuck. I just can't. Like, that's how impactful it is and how impactful it was, man. Like, and I know a lot of people can attest to it, you know. You be having some of the worst times, but you remember that and how it made you feel. And it's like, that's the type of thing that, you know, I would like to bring to fruition. And kind of the reason why I got into podcasting and stuff like that, because I wanted to create those kind of feelings, you know, those unifying feelings, and, you know, giving people something that they can use as fuel to get them to the next point, or to get them past a difficult stage. And I know I'm probably not helping get my ass kicked standing on the same stage, but you know, and that's what I think we should all be striving for, because what he did was he left something that immortalized him. You know what I'm saying? He left this mark. He left something for everybody. And really, it's like, he ain't really going, because that's something that's in all of our hearts, something we're always going to speak about, even the next generation. Like, if you look at cats like Codename Super, I'm pretty sure that guy's probably way younger than me, you know what I'm saying? And the reverence he showed for the OG Dragon Ball, and how relevant he made this, and is making it to the next generation, who probably, they came up on Kai and stuff probably on Nickelodeon, which is no problem, you know what I'm saying, that's cool too. But the way that he shows the reverence for the OG series, but also makes it relevant so like an OG like myself to come in and find it very funny and great, to the way that it connects the youth to it as well. And it's just Dragon Ball Z has that unifying quality, and I was trying to make this point that just killed me. That just stands the test of time, man. You know? So, yeah. It's wild. And it's just like, man, that was like losing uncle or something. When I found that shit, I was like, damn, I feel like that motherfucker been in my family forever. Just cause, you know, me and my cousin, just everybody. And I remember that was like a unifying thing when I thought like, okay, maybe I don't fit in a lot with my family and shit. And I remember one time, it was like the Cell Saga. And one of the episodes was on, I think the one where it was near the end where Vegeta got, where Trunks got popped and Vegeta went ham. And I remember we was all sitting at the table, just all in. I said, I didn't even know these niggas even like Dragon Ball Z like that. And we was all in that shit. And they knew all about it. They knew all the characters. It's like, y'all used to be acting like I was just a nerd by myself and shit. But they knew all about it. And was just as involved in it as I was. And that was like cool for me to see. Even going like out of town, you would meet family members at a family reunion or something like that. And then they would be like talking to me about Dragon Ball Z. And I was like, oh, good. The ultimate icebreaker. You know? And that's one thing I can say, no matter how hood or gangster or whatever dude was, which speaks to that cartel shit they said in South and Central America. No matter how hood or gangster dude was, they all fuck with Goku. that was they dude. I'll never forget, we were in Boy Hall at TSU, we were playing Dragon Ball Z, maybe it was Tenkaichi Budokai. That was the hot shit at the time, showing my age, on the PS2. And we had the door open. And this guy had just finished going off on this dude. No, fuck that nigga, man. Fuck you, nigga, man. All this other shit, you know, Memphis cat. Hey, fool. You'll let me use some cereal, fool? You saying all this shit, nigga, man. And dude, he walked past the door and he seen us play. He said, oh shit, nigga, man, Goku, fool. Motherfucking Dragon Ball Z on me, dog. And I was like, hey. Everybody fuck with Dragon Ball Z. That's just how impactful that shit was. I would almost say it had that same magic that I would say that people felt or would feel about, you know, Michael Jackson to a degree. How that like grown men would be crying when they see Michael Jackson and stuff. And chasing the car, the most thugged out. And that's how you know you got something special. And I think people should, I hope people spend more time while they're grieving about this to see the connections and how similar we all are. You know? And hopefully this brings everybody closer together. In these times. Ugh. But I still want to kind of wax more poetically about Dragon Ball Z because it's fun to do and go back and remember all this shit, man. Even for myself, I forgot a lot of this. But yeah, I remember going back and seeing, you know, printing out the pictures and stuff on Anapike and different sites, stuff. Remember, really wanting Trunks was my favorite character because he looked the most different out of everybody. You know, after, you know, at first it was like Goku, and then it was like, you know what? This Trunks guy is really fucking cool. But I remember for graduation, 8th grade, I got the Trunks Saga. I mean, that's what they called it, you know. When he shows up and kills Frieza and tells everybody, you know, the story about the androids and shit, gives Goku the medicine. Well, Goku tells everybody. Well, Piccolo does. He tells him, the details that won't affect Trunks' being born, of course. And I remember watching that with my cousin Jamal, man. We was flipping out like, hell yeah, bro. You know. And I was so excited to have that. And I remember every time the Android tapes would come out, we would go to Suncoast and pick them up. You know, each week I knew when they was coming out. I was picking up the Android tapes, the little money I had from doing summer camp, or my dad would grab it for me if I didn't have the money. And then also collecting Gundam Wing at the time, being very much still invested. And it was just fun to like go through the Android saga with my cousin Tiffany and my dad, cousin Chris and them. We'd be sitting up there watching the tape. That's back when you would take a tape to somebody's house or a DVD. Now everybody's got streaming services, so you don't really have to do that shit anymore, you know. But back then, that was like an event. Hey, we got this tape, you know, you bring it over to the cousin house or whatever, and everybody watch it. And I kind of missed that, or like you bring a game to somebody's house and everybody sit up and you watch it. This is kind of like Let's Plays before Let's Plays, you know what I'm saying? Especially with Resident Evil. So we would look at the event and we'd be watching Dragon Ball Z. We'd be like, damn it, I remember getting mad at, who was it? Damn Krillin for not pressing that damn button. He's like, dog, we know you like her and shit, but she is trying to blow up the planet and shit, bro. You just lazy. What the fuck is you doing? Cause he did kind of slow down for a minute, like, well, she ain't so bad because she kissed her. But you know, I kind of can't, you can't blame Krillin. Like, come on, bro. And especially after you had that one chick, what was her name, Marin or whatever. Motherfucker went to the bottom of the ocean for that hoe. We all had a Krillin moment or two. Especially myself, so I can't really knock the brother. If I'm getting my ass kicked by this boulder. Yeah, man. I still kind of can't believe it, bro. And I used to... What the hell? I don't remember this part. I got that far? Shit, yeah, y'all gonna see I suck at that shit. But, you know, I wanted to touch on that. Just, man. That is something, man. To be able to say that you was here when Dragon Ball Z was around. Like, you was on the planet for that shit. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those things now where I cannot believe it. And you just kind of take it for granted, like, man, you know, dude's always gonna be here. You know, there's never gonna be a time without Toriyama. There's never gonna be a time without Dragon Ball Z. There's always some new Dragon Ball stuff coming out. You know? Just to see that, it's just how, like I said, influential it was, and personally how many like ruts it got me out of just remembering certain episodes and certain moments, pulling up the soundtrack and getting the motivation from the soundtrack to do what I need to do, you know, move forward, and taking that energy from the music and being inspired by all of that. You know, I can't think of a time where, you know, I haven't been inspired or motivated by it. I always go back to it. I think a lot of people always go back to it as well. And just thinking about, you know, how it's hard some people, they got depression and things like that or whatever, is very therapeutic, you know, for a lot of cats. And they help a lot of cats really focus on their purpose, because it's easy to get caught up on a lot of things out here. But when you think about like Goku, you think about Vegeta, and what was cool is like a lot of people say, which is true, you get older and you think about the motivation of Vegeta, you know what I'm saying? I made that jump, I promise I did. You know what I'm saying? As you get older, you're like, you know what? I feel him. Even though I kind of felt like he was on some bullshit before, I could understand why that man was on that shit. And, you know, just from a certain perspective, damn, I probably shouldn't have did that slide. Vegeta seemed like a conscious brother, like, who was putting Goku up on game. Like, do you know what this man did to our people? You know what I'm saying? Like, get him. And put him up on game. Like, brother, you know what this guy had us doing? You know what he did to my father? You know, I ain't who you think I am. This is based upon where I was molded to be by this crap. And Goku being, you know, kind of the epitome of compassion, despite people say, well, he's not a hero, he just wants to fight, which he does. But everybody knows a great fighter knows compassion. You can't be a great fighter without it. And I know a lot of people probably would say that I'm wrong, but I mean, it is what it is. Oh shit, I should have just jumped that way. Yeah, but a great fighter has compassion. You can see that. And then that also gave me more clarity on his origin, which before was kind of shrouded in mystery. You know, he finally began to accept it, which was cool. Like, hey, I am that. You know? And he got to understand that, yo, it wasn't nothing inherently evil about his people. It just was what they were molded into. And that's very much kind of hits close to home with black people in our plight here in the United States. Much people would like to try to deny that. You know what I'm saying? When you think about where we are now, and I don't want to just say we, but a lot of us are, you know, trying to figure out our origins, come to terms with our origins, who we are and stuff, and, you know what I mean? It's very telling. And I forgot why I even made that point. Yeah, you come to understand Vegeta a lot more too, and just like, just as being human, like doing your very best and coming up short, you know, not really getting where you want, trying to push hard, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Like you value that work ethic. And you also learn a very important lesson from him too, when he's trying to go Super Saiyan and he just keep trying and trying, but it's not working. And then finally he say, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even care about this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And then it happens. Because sometimes that's how shit works. You ever think about, you know, you trying to do a backflip, trying to do a backflip, right? And then one day you just, man, forget it, and you do the damn flip. It reminded me of that. Because I remember my cousin Jamal, he had a backflip actually before I did. He just kept telling me, he was like, man, you just gotta say forget it and do it. Like, that was his thing. And I was just like, well, I kind of see what he's saying. But then I remember finally it wasn't until I did it that I got it. And I was like, okay, I see what he means. But that seemed like that ultimate moment where Vegeta was like, man, fuck this shit. Yeah, man, it's those things that get you through. And I even find myself watching that sometimes too. Watching that particular scene, man. There's just so many jewels and gems to pick up from it. And you can always revisit it. It's cool to see it on YouTube and stuff. And even to talk to cats, like, you know, my own student who's motherfucker was born in 2004, man. Like, he was born when I graduated fucking high school, so it's just like, what the fuck were we even having? You know, like, what were we having? We actually have a lot in common, but just the fact that even he knows that shit, and that's something that me and him can relate on, that makes things, you know, a lot cooler. Is that it just goes to show that the divide that they try to make you have between the youth and adults and stuff, you don't really have to have it. I mean, of course, there are certain things, you know, you gotta be responsible. You know, youth war council. I mean, youth war. What is it? Elders for council and shit. I'm not elder yet. I'm still in the war stage, getting my ass kicked at trash Bandicoot. Shit. I don't want to start this shit over again. Eh, well, it doesn't matter. If anybody's here listening and they following, it is what it is. But it gives us something we can connect on, and I think that's a beautiful thing. And I probably said it 100 times. So man, it's like I think I broke down like maybe 3 days in a row about it, man. I just, you know, damn, man. There's other people I could think about, and I know you ain't supposed to wish death on nobody, but there's other people I could think about that need to get the hell up out of here. And he ain't one of them. Like, god damn, why are you gonna take him? There's a bunch of crazy ass fucking stupid people, and I'm like, shit, you can take them, and we'll be alright without them. I mean, of course I don't have to make that judgment. You know, you be having candidates and shit. I just hope his family is doing good. And they ain't good spirits, and it's kind of hard to deal with. Shit. But like I said, he lives on, man. Through all of us. Just gotta keep striving to do best. Keep striving to go even further beyond. And all our endeavors, create something with that same passion, with that same heart. Unify people with love and all that shit. Keep fighting the good fight. Because even just the basic concept of how they say, new level, new devils and shit. Every time they reach a new level, it wasn't just like, oh, they're good, they're done. It's like, no, you reach a new level. That means you gotta find out what it means to operate at this new level. What does it mean to be there? You know? You're not done just because you reach Super Saiyan. Something beyond that. And I thought that was the coolest concept about the whole thing. And that's how life is, you know? But anyway, shout out to the GOAT. Also, once again, shout out to the other influential GOAT, B. Stubblefield, Fat Brandon, musical genius, also genius on the Z's, man. Innovated a style that I have not seen anywhere else. So much so that style is what influenced me. And it's just like, you truly made that shit a martial art. Yeah, I did the wrong shit. It was like, it just seemed like you just put the symbols in that man's hand and they get spun. Man. I think I still got some footage of me going back and challenging him. There's a couple Super Saiyans in Detroit. It was like him, and I think it was a cat named David that was taught by him. And he had a wide influence. I remember battling all those guys. And then, of course, Prince Kid, one of his main proteges. Battling all those guys, trying to get the skills. Yeah. Shout out to him, man. And shit, it's just crazy because that dude's my age. It's like, a lot of people checking out at my age, you know, and I know we got various things going on, and I wish I could have been there, you know. And I know we both graduated at the same time, so it's gotta be his 20th high school reunion coming up, if I'm not mistaken, because mine is the summer, so we was in the same grade. Cool dude, too.
I remember he had a voice that sounded like this. Oh, Irving College now. Irving College. Show me what you got, man. Yeah, man, I remember I made up this one twirl one time when I was playing Madden.
Like I said, I probably said this on another recording, but I remember he put me up on the cheat code for using Dove or deodorant. He was like, man, you can use that other shit, but that Dove, man, it stay with you. And he was right. You be doing them damn performances and shit. Damn, that shit done fell through. But that Dove, though, he wasn't lying about that shit. That shit would keep you right. And everybody was laughing at him for using it and shit. And I'm like, no, this guy on to something. I never forget that he was on the bus, back of the bus, all city talk about that shit. Again, like, I don't know what's going on. I think I got another friend who's missing, who I ain't heard from. But my homeboy Espaghetti, man, what the hell going on with him? AKA Neil, like, I ain't heard from that dude. Usually he's been posting on social media or something. He been sent me like 10, 12, 13 videos. That motherfucker sent me a lot of videos. I ain't heard nothing from him. I'm not texting him. Other people been asking me where the hell he at, so I'm starting to get worried. I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna need to like not be losing people close to me like this. You know, starting to become a little bit concerning. And I don't know what's up with these people checking out. And I hope that's not the case with him. And I can't even fucking focus on this shit. I've been doing this thing low for an hour. This shit is ridiculous. But y'all can laugh at me, Dad. Anyway, yeah, man, it's just crazy trying to figure out what's going on with all these people, man. People close to me, like, seeing they just went away. I already had a lot of family, getting used to a lot of family and stuff. Just checking out too, you know what I'm saying? Aunts, uncles, my grandparents, even shit, they damn houses been burnt down. Both of my grandparents. Damn it! But, yeah, it's kind of rough to think about. You know, just losing people and stuff. Like, as long as we hold to the memories and carry what with us that they taught us, carry it on and remember it, and remember them, and they're always here. And they just, you know, they're with us. But, you know, on top of that, I guess I'm gonna just leave that. I'm pretty sure I can think of some other stuff to talk about. But I can't. Somebody else just jumped on. I don't know who it is, but I'm getting my ass kicked. So you can just laugh because I'm dying here. But yeah, that's one thing. You know, Toriyama, man. Thank y'all for whoever was on listening to me kind of rant about that whole thing and kind of go in circles, because that's a lot of my history with it. Dang. And I seen that the Japanese commercial for the Kakarot game, and I was like, damn, that shit was really touching. I felt like they should have used that over here, and even just use the Japanese subtitles for that. I made that jump. You saw it. Because of how just touching that commercial was. I think they should have used that here. You know? But it was cool that we got to see it. But just bad that it was in this context. Or in this moment that we had to see it that way. funny, man. What is it? Damn near 40-year-old anime. Still this relevant. All this time. It's on par with Star Wars. You definitely could call it an epic. I bet probably thousands of years from now or whatever, it'll be an epic like the Iliad and Homer's Odyssey and shit. Dragon Ball Z. They'll still be studying it hundreds and thousands of years to come from it. I put my money on it. That, Star Wars, the Marvel comics and shit. That'll be all the fucking classics like Gilgamesh and shit. It makes you wonder like how interesting, people will find it at that point. Hell, even probably some of the WWE shit will probably be like that too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe those stories will become legends. It's funny to think about, how far all that shit will go. But that's the goal, is to come here and to leave something, a legacy. And that's what we're all striving to do in any way you can. So whatever your heart is really set on and you feel compelled to bring to fruition, damn it, you should do it. And Toriyama is proof of that. Even though if you watch what he said his motivation was, he could still tell you had a passion for drawing, at least. And what he was creating was probably from his heart. Because, and I can definitely say it was, they said he was more of a movie guy, but he brought his love of movies into what he was doing, because Jackie Chan was a huge influence on why Dragon Ball was a martial arts comedy, because he was in the movies, and that kind of drove him. He was like, well, I could bring my love of movies into this, and it's just like, sometimes you gotta go in a different direction, but it doesn't mean you still can't do what you want. It's just you do what you want in a field that maybe you didn't think before. So much so that shit, Jackie Chan fucked with what, Dr. Slump and shit. If you watch My Lucky Stars, there's a scene with Arale in there. And I don't feel like playing through this again. And of course, there's the Jackie Chan character in what was that shit? As you can see, I could clearly not play games like this and talk at the same time. I don't think I was cut off for streaming. But anybody who watches it and rocks with me is cool, Shit, everybody knows that's the joke. Urban's gonna die 50 billion times. I should have gave up my government name, but whatever, it ain't like it's hard to find and shit. You know, you fucking know. Yeah, I think this would be a lesson to bring focus in your heart, because that's what's going to leave a legacy. That's what's going to connect you to other people. That's going to help other people connect. And that's what we should be striving for. What you do, go over love. That's the true secret to being the best. Put love in it. Like, competition is cool, it keeps you on your toes and lets you know that there's always something you can do, but it's not the end goal. It's not the reason you do it. You do it because you love it. It keeps you going. And things you love, you want to improve upon. Whether it's a relationship or whatever. It's just how it goes. But anyway, I'm going to move from that and into that. that's kind of my current problem now, because like when I'm going into spaces, that's usually how I'm moving, kind of on this low frequency. But it's kind of hard to be that way because a lot of people don't understand it. And when you are that way, you know, people, they feel threatened because they can't kind of manipulate you into feeling the way they want you to feel, or they can manipulate you into being in competition or feeling less than. Because I mean, we all have our moments of insecurity, but when you realize, okay, I'm here doing this because I love to do it, it frees you, and you're able to surpass your limits a lot more than if you just constantly thinking about whether I'm better than this person or not, how much better than me they are, you know. I got it, actually, the Nitro, whatever it's called, the remake, I had that one too. What up, Chris? What's up, brother? Yeah, I had that. I haven't played it in a while though. But damn it! Now you already know I'm gonna be dying, so this ain't no surprise here. This is the oh man, I never played. Is that the second one? I like Crash Team Racing, and I like the little battle mode they have. If that's what you mean, it's pretty fun. But I love that back in the day, especially on PS1. I had the remake too. Damn it, I just never played much of the remake. Sorry. But I own it. I meant to get more into it. The one that just... Oh, I didn't even know they just came out with a new one. Oh, shit. I've been out the loop, brother. I'm about to go check it out. Shoot. I went to the store actually to get WWE 2K24. That shit was all sold out. I was like, golly. But, I mean, I did go to a Walmart, so that's probably why. I think even GameStop probably would have them sold up. I'm gonna go check. But no, I didn't know about that. So now I gotta pick up something else. But yeah, when you operate off that low frequency, you more so, you're freer. And oh god, Crash was slicing like Memphis. They do the slicing in the pools and stuff. That's what like he was doing, the slice. I wonder if they got that from that, because the way he dives looked just like slicing. It's the same form that you gotta have when you do the die. How he does his body slam. I watched a documentary on that. I forgot, what was it called? Was it called Slice or something? Yeah, I think it was called Slice. Maybe on Hulu. So yeah, if you're interested in Memphis, check that out. Yeah, that would be cool, man. I don't think I ever even like got Crash Bash. I wanted it, and I think maybe at the time I was in trouble, so it was like my hopes of getting that kind of went out the window. And by the time I probably could get it, I forgot about it. I think maybe by that time I was like, I want Mega Man Legends 2, something like that, because I love Mega Man Legends. What was I saying? Oh no! Alright, we can still do this. Even though I tore up. Come on! Yeah, I figured that's what it was like when I seen the preview. I was like, that would be fun, because I didn't have Nintendo 64, so it would be cool to have something comparable, you know. Which is why Crash Team Racing was dope, because I didn't have 64, so... You know, of course there was no Mario Kart, so you had to deal with Crash Bandicoot. And he was my guy, I love Crash. I had action figures back in the day, I think I still got them. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So when you operate through things from a low frequency, like, it makes things easier to do. Even if it's a competitive thing, you can move more freely. You have access to more energy because your focus isn't so much on a particular person or a particular outcome. And I think that's kind of in line with Bruce Lee was saying, where he was like, don't focus so much on the outcome because you missed the moment. And of course that famous line he says is like a finger pointing way to the moon. Don't focus on the finger, you miss all that heavenly glory. And I think what he's pointing at is focus too much on the outcome or the person in front of you instead of the moment that you're in. If you do well to learn more from the moment you're in than the details themselves and the circumstances, getting bogged down with it. You get more from the experience. You can experience that way. And I think that's what I'm trying to get at here. And when you operate that way, it scares people because then they feel like there's no way to manipulate you. They feel like there's no way to put a finger on you because what motivates and drives them isn't necessarily the same thing that motivates and drives you. And it seems like you getting your stuff from a source that they can't tap into. And it's not true that they can't, it's just they don't know how, because they're not operating from that love. They're operating from the need to control. They operate from the need to win an outcome, which is, is so fleeting. It's it's so fleeting because that moment you miss it, and then even if you do win or whatever, or you feel like you're in control, it's only momentary, because guess what, you got to do it again and again and again and again. So I go PS1 with the whole multi-tap nonsense. Yeah, I didn't know many people who had that. I think I only knew like maybe one or two people who had it, and it wasn't many games I thought that could really support it that people was playing outside of maybe like that game, Crash Team Racing, probably more racing games, and Twisted Metal. I remember a lot of guys loving Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal was fun. And what was that? Jet Moto. Jet Moto was pretty cool. I kind of wish they would bring that one back. But PS1 was a whole different era. I miss it though. Dad and 64, going to people's house who had 64 was cool because I didn't have it. So getting to have that experience playing GoldenEye and all that stuff. And that's what was cool about 64. It came with the ports already. Nintendo was always good about that. Because 64 had the 4 ports where you could just automatically play, which Nintendo, good on them. GameCube did the same thing. Good on them as well. I think even on the Wii had 4 ports on it. I gotta go upstairs look at my Wii. So Nintendo always made good with that. No, it did. It really did, man, because you no longer had to go to anybody's house to play. You no longer had to sit next to them to play and stuff. It's just a way for them to make more money off the games. I think they are with all the costumes and the micro transactions or whatever they call them. It kind of sucks, man, because I kind of miss like renting the game sometimes, getting the game, going to somebody's house and playing it. Hey man, I got so and so. And there was also a way to meet other people too, because just like how I was saying, Dragon Ball Z, is definitely a unifying force, and that's one thing that all people agree on. The other thing all people agree on was games. I've seen people who hated each other, people who hated me. In high school, somebody bought a Dreamcast with Power Stone, and they would be playing Marvel 2, Soul Calibur, all those Dreamcast fighters and stuff. And all of a sudden, everybody was together. Everybody was having a good time. Nobody was fighting. You know what I mean? It was one thing we all understood. And it's like, I'm like, man, we should really focus more on stuff like that. Because we be thinking we all different and shit. And it's like, really, when we get to the core, we are really very similar. We might have cultural differences and physical appearance differences and stuff, but really, man, when we get down to the core of it, we all operating on the same shit. So yeah, man, kids are missing out a little bit because, you know, but I guess you could say kind of not, because they're making friends online too, and probably in ways that we probably wouldn't have. We had like a pen pal or something. You had to send a letter to somebody. They're connecting with people more across the world, so I don't want to say, you know, better or worse. You know, it's just, you know, the times are different. So I still think, you know, games can still unify people, you know. So. But it just, it felt like a little more fun, like a little, you get to go to somebody's house and then you meet your friends. You're like, oh man, this guy's really cool, you know. And then you got more friends because you kicking it with them and like, oh man, it's really cool cats, you know. Just meeting people, or sometimes you just be at Chuck E. Cheese or something like that, or an arcade for like your cousin's birthday or your birthday, and then you just meet some random cats and y'all all get together. Hey, let's be Simpsons, let's be Ninja Turtles, let's be X-Men, you know. And you know, made some new friends at the arcade just trying to beat the damn game. So yeah, I definitely like miss those days, you know, the sleepovers and stuff. Hey, so and so coming over, they bringing this game and this movie, and yeah, you know, different times. Chuck E. Cheese be that thing, man. You know, you do the ball pit and do the obstacles and stuff, and then you play the games, get the tickets, and you play the arcades. They had those crazy shows that I don't know how the hell we sat and watched that, but we did somehow. Somehow I used to think the pizza was great, even though it wasn't that great. But it was always fun being there. Yep. So that was before my time out here. I came around the tail end of what's that mall over there? Hickory Hollow. I was around the tail end of that. So I came to Nashville in 2004. So I came to the very last days of Hickory Hollow. What was that, Rivergate and all that shit? I think that's when the flood happened. Was that Arthur Mills closed down or something, then they opened back up. But yeah, I remember Hickory Hollow. God damn it, getting beat up. But as like I said, I'm more focused on ranting, which is the fun part. But yeah, man, you know, shit. I think if we operated more on that frequency, man, things would kind of move forward a little more. That's one thing I find very cool about breaking, and you know, just dance in general, as I get my ass kicked, is that I could go to a spot like I was, you know, you go to like an Evolution or you go to an IBE with people from all over the globe, and you may not even be able to speak to them with words, but you see the cat doing 6-step, you see the cat's top rock, how they going down, what they doing, and you know exactly what the motherfucker's saying. Like you feel it. And that's that same frequency, you know? And when I got to witness that, that let me know that there was things more important than winning a battle. You know, that wasn't the reason why I was going. You know, it was like being on Street Fighter, but for dancing, you know what I'm saying? Like here it is, these cats, all there for their different crash, get all there for different reasons, different stories, you know what I'm saying, different backgrounds, but united under one, you know, love. And I miss it. Well, I don't miss it because I mean I'm still entering that every time, but you know, there's still that thing, you know, some cats, they gotta be in control and stuff, and that's why I think I like more so going overseas and going to certain events, because I just feel like you feel the love more, especially the cats that ain't really from here, you know what I'm saying? that's one thing I can say about the scenes overseas. I feel like there's more reverence for it, and more reverence for individuality and originality and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure every place has its drama and its beef and stuff too, but I don't know. I'm just kind of getting a little bit tired of dealing with stuff like that, where everybody has to be in control, gotta be the big guy, gotta be in power, and I'm more just like, yo, empower yourself. You know? I never gotta beat this one. Oh, I gotta wait till there's nitro, that's right. But I feel like it's kind of like the end of the Matrix, though. I never did buy that one. I kind of just watched some of my friends play it, and I was like, man, it looks really amazing, and I would like to play it. Probably should pick it up too. Probably should pick it up, bruh. Oh no, we are not doing that. I never played it, but I saw it and I was like, man, this looks super extensive. Like the level design looked crazy. I mean, the music was ill. I was like, man. I'm gonna go pick it up, man. Pick it up. Yeah, man, shoot, I'm all about not having power over, but empowerment in oneself, you know, showing up to surpass yourself, you know, because a lot of people think they want to be the only guy or the only girl doing something, but it's just like, if you're the only person doing it, then it wouldn't matter. Like, the reason why people do stuff is because they want to do it with people. Like, you can't really break without a scene, you know what I mean? You can't have a cipher without multiple people. It's like, you can do it all by yourself, but you really can't. And that's the thing I be trying to impress upon people. Even myself, because sometimes I'm kind of a loner, but it's because I feel like I feel all that energy or whatever, and I'm just like, man, I need to, sometimes I be taking on other people's stuff, and I'm like, I need to just kind of like chill out, do my own thing, and you know, I don't even know I'm even getting all on that, you know, super philosophical right now, but like I said, still thinking about Toriyama and his impact, and it's just like, dang, I just can't even, it's like, I lost a, like, I feel like a lot of people lost a part of them, you know. I feel like he was everybody's like super cool ass uncle, you know what I mean? Hey, check this out, I got this new story to tell you, you know. And when you feeling like you can't go forward, it's like that uncle just come pick you up, man, tell you the story about so and so, and how Goku didn't give up against this, and how Gohan was able to surpass, you know, his insecurities and beat Cell. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. When I think about it. I still just can't believe it. It's like, like I said, it's just like, it's just a party, man. It's just a party. Alright, let me stop getting sentimental, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be the stream. Y'all done watched me get my ass kicked this whole time. But you know when you watch, hey, backspin, that was pretty hard. When you watch this, one of these streams with me, you already know I'm gonna get my ass kicked a lot. But that's just how it goes. It's kind of hard for me to make like points and play at the same time because I don't do it enough as I should. And it's not like playing Spider-Man, which is kind of like mindless. You can kind of mash and just beat people up and kind of go through the motions and make sure you don't get hit. But yeah. So, thanks for rocking with me, Chris. As always good talking with you, man, about the gaming and nostalgia and things, man. Seems like we came up in the same era, you know. So we relate a lot on that, man. And thanks for checking it out, even though I know it's probably frustrating watching me fall in the same pit 500 million trillion 25 7 6 and 7 8 times. But yo, thanks for rocking with me anyway, you know, listening to me rant and stuff and be all sentimental and talk about these things. Hopefully, you know, I want to get WWE 2K24 so we can take the Empress to WrestleMania, because I feel like they're not really doing too much with the Empress. Kind of bothered me a little bit. But you know, she's a tag team champion, so I can't trip about that. Her and Kyrie Sane. I love those two. I think they're like cool sisters. It's always cool to see them kind of interact. But definitely want to see them more than Empress. But she might be worried about other things, you know, like what she got going in Japan and stuff, trying to find a new building and put together her arcade and whatnot. Which hopefully she will be close in Memphis at SmackDown. But I guess we'll find out. There's only one way to find out. And I will be reporting back to y'all about that after it happens. But other than that, yeah, hopefully get 2K24, because I definitely want to play through that and some of the legacy stuff, the old WrestleManias. Yeah, anyway, that being said, I hope y'all have a good night. Chris, my brother, have a good night, man. I'm about to go ahead and hop off of here. Always a pleasure to talk to you. This is your main man, Spider Rock, aka Rick Chan. Motherfucking flavor you withstand. In 10 toes deeper than quicksand. Split your through them like I heard, but now you feel them. Now it's time to go. Hope you enjoyed the flow. Running recording is bringing funky flavor to you and yours. Don't sweat the technique. You're in it with the fresh geeks. Toriyama, rest in peace. Fat Brandon, rest in peace. Hopefully, Esfagetti, if anybody knows where he's at, Neil, please like contact me here or something. Let me know. Hopefully he's doing good too. And wherever he is, peace and love to you. Holla at your boy. Alright. Peace, y'all.